Okay, remember what I told you. Be your own boss, love yourself, get up and dance, level
Level
up.
up.
Beat it up like. Beat it up like.
All right, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am super excited to be here with you today. We have some good gems for you. For those of you who I only see like two people who said what team they're on. So I see Team Sky. I see Team Level Up. She said, I'm on your team. I hear it, girl. What other teams do we have out there today, guys? Let's shout you out. Come on, let's go. Team Vision Quest. All right, Joseph. Love it. What else we got out here? And it's a couple of you in the room now. I should see at least one or two more teams popping up here. Really? No one? So it's only Team Sky, Team Level Up, and Team Vision Quest. All right, I can feel you. Well, you know, if you don't know, I'm Letitia M. I'm super excited to be here. I'm always excited if you know me. I love doing trainings. I love mentoring. So this is right up my wheelhouse, guys. And so what we're going to be talking about today is going to be multiple destinations. How many of you are struggling, I would say, with creating or even understanding the best sites to go to look at multiple destinations? When I first came in, I didn't even know that was a thing, right? I thought I had to create a booking. That's right, Sydney. I had to create a booking for one and then go create another one for a different leg of that trip. I didn't know that some of our resources already had it built in. So that is pretty cool that we do have some that have that. Not all of them. Cindy, you tried yesterday. Well, honey, we're going to go from trying to doing and being the expert at it, right? Because we want to be the experts at it. So I'm going to bring over one so that we can get started. I'm going to share my screen first. All right. And we're going to share this screen so that I can bring over the beautiful Vax Vacations. All right, so let me get that chat box back up so I can be reading what you're saying as we're going. Very interactive. You know, if you have questions as I'm going along, feel free to ask them. I have no problem with answering questions as we go. If I miss your question because I'm just so involved in what I'm doing, that doesn't mean I didn't see you. It just means that, you know, I mean, it means I didn't see you. So we definitely want to make sure that we know that. So when you log into Vax, you'll see that they have now, if you are looking for cruises, you guys better sign up. I saw that they was advertising a cruise that starts tomorrow. I said, well, you know, if you got that kind of customer, but those deals are real. I saw one, it was like $1,200 for 2 people. And if you know anything about Virgin Voyages, really, really good. Okay, travel team, DNTS travel team. Go ahead, Yolanda, I love it. So we're going to just start with Apple Vacations. But the best thing to do when you're in Vax Vacations is if you click on vacation packages, it will take you to, oh, well, it did something different for me. To this screen at the bottom, you'll see that button that says multiple destinations, right? So when you click on that, it's going to take you into the super site, right? Where you can actually kind of manipulate a little bit more, do a little bit different things. So let's get 3 different destinations in the chat while I kind of get us started. We're going to do 1 room, 2 adults. We're going to say that they're leaving from, I'm going to say that they're going to leave from JFK. All right. And now let's see. I need 3 destinations in the chat, guys. Let's get some destinations in here. Oh, you guys are a reserved group tonight. I have the reserved group. Charleston. All right. So we're going to go from New York to Charleston. And it doesn't like Charleston. Charleston, South Carolina. We're going to say we'll do 2 nights there. Where else are we going? From Charleston to Jamaica. Ooh, we making a good trip. All right. So then from Jamaica to, we're going to go to Montego Bay. And we're going to stay there 4 nights because we really want to get that experience. Then I'm going to add a destination. And you see the add the destination buttons or remove a destination is right there on the side as well. So one more leg, guys. Let's get one more leg in here. Thank you, Sydney and Carlene, for participating. Come on, guys. Let's get some participation going. I've never had a room that was this quiet. Texas, she said. So you're going to take us from Jamaica back to Texas? Oh my goodness. She was like, I don't know. I said one place. All right. So Odessa. All right. And we'll do 3 nights there. Oh, Joseph, now you got Rome. Now you have Rome. Let's change out Texas since we're already traveling. Let's get it to Rome. I like going to Rome. All right. And so now since we're going to Rome, we're going to say 5 days in Rome. And I'm going to take off the rental cars. You can always get them added in. That's not a problem. And then the return is showing automatically because we selected the amount of days we're staying at each one of the legs. So it said, all right, so then you're coming back on April 1st of 2023, which is going to be on a Saturday. And then you're going to click search. So they're going to do all the work. Now, I don't want you to be afraid of this tool. I had a customer who wanted to go from Texas to Maldives or Texas to Tokyo, but they wanted to do both Maldives and Tokyo. So I tried it both ways. They didn't care which one they went to first. They knew how many days they wanted to stay. But guess what? I can get them to Tokyo or I could get them to Maldives, but I couldn't get them from Tokyo to Maldives, right? So I called Vax Vacation. They were able to build that part of the lake for me and then put it back into my itinerary. That is important. If there's any notes that you're going to take here from here today, take this note. If it does not come up with the lake for you, if it is missing part of your trip, all you have to do is build it as far as you can build it and save it. Call Vax Vacations. Let them know what you're trying to build. They can build what's missing, build that element that's missing for you, and make sure they're saving it back into your saved itineraries. That button is right here. The reason why that's important is because you want to be the one that closes that customer. You do not want them to build it and then contact the customer to close it, because then you get no commission from the sale, right? So you want to make sure that anytime you contact a customer service, no matter what vendor it is, if they are assisting you with your booking, that they are saving that back into your itineraries to close that sale. Cindy, I can't say that if that it would include cities that's not included in the drop down, because they're telling us straight up, those are cities, states, or countries that they can travel to. So if you do not see those city states in there, you may want to try a different supplier. Okay, we did have to build something for a different person before, and it was a simple trip of going from Texas. Where were they at? They were in Texas and they were going back home to Germany. And part of their leg was going to stop over, and it was like a 12-hour layover. So the customer was trying to tell me how to do it because she's done it so many times. There was no direct flight to her city in Germany. However, there was an airport there. She just had to stop over in one city, take a different flight over. But because she's done it so many times, she was trying to tell me how to build it. What you do is you build it from one city to the end destination, and you let it tell you where it's going to stop at. So that middle city didn't come up for me. She was trying to force it, right? But it came up as a layover. So it just because you don't see this city doesn't mean they don't go there. But if we don't have access to it, most likely you may have to try a different vendor. So I would definitely give you that advice on that. So the first thing is coming up with is telling me, hey, this plan is going to be $15,000. Now, if this person is doing a 3-leg trip like this, they already know they're going to spend money, right? So they're not going to be afraid of these prices. I am not spending right now $15,000 on a trip, but that doesn't mean my customer won't, right? So they're showing us different plans for airfare. JFK going to is it Charlotte, and then from Charlotte to Charleston, South Carolina, is showing that it's a 4-hour and 22-minute layover. I'm sorry, an hour and 10-minute layover. So obviously you don't want that customer to try to do any plans. Hey, as soon as you get to the airport, go ahead to your next gate. You don't want to mess around. That's only an hour and 10 minutes, right? So I'm going to go ahead and select that one. And then it's going to show me my next leg after it finishes thinking about its prospects in life. So my next one is going to be from Charlotte to Newark, and then from Newark, how am I getting the JFK? So this is important right here. I would not recommend this flight to my customer. Even though it's a 4-hour layover, they would have to get from Newark, New Jersey to JFK in New York. This is why it's important for you to also look at those flights, right? So I'm going to have to bump them up to $16,000 because I see that Charleston goes to Miami, and then from Miami, we are heading to Montego Bay. All right, so that is something that's also important looking at these legs. Now, if your customer was fine with this, you can offer to book them transportation from one airport to the next airport. They have 4 hours. They almost have 5 hours, right? But we know how flights can be. What if this flight comes in late? What if there are traffic delays going from Newark to New York? We know how busy. If you don't know, New York City is always busy. So you want to make sure, you know, this is something I wouldn't play around with. I would rather just say, hey, you know what? We're going to have to go to the next plan. And again, if they're doing a trip that is going to multiple destinations, they already know that they have to have a good budget for it. The last person that I had that did a multiple destination trip actually was willing to spend $22,000 because they understood that that Japan trip was going to be expensive. Now, the last leg, Montego Bay to Philadelphia, Philadelphia to Rome. That's a weird kind of rounder. So, you know, and that's probably just because of how the connecting flights go. It's showing that it's a next day arrival at 9 a.m. So you want to let your customer know that they're probably going to lose a day in travel alone. And some people will be okay with that. So the total time of travel is going to be 13 hours. Tell them to bring a book. Bring a book, damn it. Or a good pillow, right? But that is that. So now that we have all of our airfares selected and out of the way, now we're going to be concentrating on, what is this one? Oh, going home. Sorry. So then we have from Rome to New York. No intermediate flights. This is direct. My customer is going to appreciate this. They've been traveling so long that they're going to be like, I'm glad I don't have to switch airlines, right? So we're going to go ahead and select that last flight, getting them back home. Totally forgot about it. Look, I done left them in Rome, right? Now they've already selected what they felt was the best hotels. But does that mean that that's the best hotel for your customer? Absolutely not. So what you can do is you can click on the hotel for each destination, and it will take you back so that you can select from the list. So if I click on hotels in Charleston, we must have went to go pick somebody up. We left from New York to South Carolina to pick up our aunt, right? Now, see, it's going to bring us to, well, all right, here are all the other hotels that's available. We just picked what we thought was the best one. So I might say, hey, Home Suites is not a bad one. They got a 4-star here. Let's kind of take a look at what their beds look. Homewood Suites isn't bad. I've had to stay there for business before. And let's look at their rooms. And they're not showing us any pictures. I don't like it when they don't show me pictures. I like to see what's going on. I like to see what's going on in a hotel. Hampton Inn. Home Suites again by University Boulevard. Homewood Suites, I should say. Again, with no photos. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't like it. I mean, I can always go and look them up, right? But I would rather kind of know. All right, so this one is actually still less than ours. Oh, okay, okay. So let's look at that one. Homewood Suites, no, the Hilton. There we go, some pictures. Because we like to be able to tell our clients that the room looks good, or even kind of capture some of these photos, right? When we're sending them the itinerary. to say, yeah, it's the Hilton, all right, and it looks pretty good. It looks like a clean room for you. It shows you room selections. So it's already selected for that 2 queens. If your customer is fine with that, then boom, they're already ready, set to go. But if they would prefer to have a king size bed, you just let them know, hey, it's going to be a difference in that price for you. And let's see if they also have something maybe that has breakfast included, because I see a lot of coffee. But if they have anything with breakfast, I try to make sure that they have as many accommodations as possible. All right. Just making sure nobody else said anything. I don't see any breakfast. Do anybody come up and see any breakfast? Did y'all see any breakfast? I don't know about this one, guys. Seems like in the Californias, they don't care if we eat. Or did they say go out and eat? They said go out and eat. I do like the suite, but not for an extra $138. I can skip on a room to get an excursion, right? All right, so we will just go with, because I'm not seeing it and I don't want to waste your guys' time. We're here to learn. So I'm just going to go ahead and go with the king size bed upgrade on that. Right. And so now that we selected it, it's going to take us back here. So now our first hotel has been updated. And now we're in Montego Bay. And it says that this is an all-inclusive. I like it. I like all-inclusive. I'm just going to click on the hotel. I'm loving that view. Loving everything about it. Loving the room. Yes, yes, and yes. I'm sold. I'm sold for my customers. Now, anytime you see something that says all-inclusive, you also want to check to see what is their meaning of all-inclusive, because everybody's all-inclusive can be different. So I'm going to look at dining. Is showing me that there's different dining, various bars and various restaurants, amenities. All right, so they have rooms, baggage, staff. Okay, great. Complimentary wireless internet. I can't live without it. They have a disco. Golf off-site. See that little plus sign? That means that that is extra. And ironing amenities, extra. Laundry service. Meal plan type, all-inclusive. All right. So when you see something like that, you don't see the plus sign, you can kind of give that customer the thumbs up that your meals are going to all be included. Now, what I don't see is any mention that the alcohol or drinks are included. So you might want to warn them that it could be an additional cost for that. But right now, that's what we see. Now, they have a double garden view room, which was automatically selected. If they're fine with that, they don't want to pay any extra for the room. That's great. You can take a look at some of the other things that they have, like for an extra $500, they can have that oceanfront. And so they're going to be like, no, I'm good. I'm already paying $16,000 for this package, right? So we're going to go ahead and leave the Jamaica Montego Bay, but see how it has features here. So I'm going to click on the features and see what else is available for my customer. I do see that the airport shuttle was included, so that's great. If they want to have travel insurance, this is where you're going to come for travel insurance for that leg of the trip. Or you can use services like I do. I use, forgot the name of it, but I don't use Tinling. I use a different insurance company because they pay me a little bit more. And I get my money 30 days after. If you're interested in learning more about that plan, see me after the meeting. All right, so these are all different excursions that your customer can purchase right from you. So you don't have to open up Viator if you don't want to. You can actually just do it right from here. You can let them know the different ones that are available. And if they're interested, you can add it right into their trip and select a day. So it already knows what days they're going to be in Montego Bay. So then I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to do that one for the 24th. It's going to come up to $298 for them to have that Bob Marley and Dunes River Falls tour. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. So yes, not only are you planning their trip, you're planning how they trip, right? All right. And then they have, other things if they're interested. You can always add more dolphin experiences. Definitely let them know. Don't let your customer book these things when they get there. That's money that you left on a table, not them, right? So now that we have that excursion, here is hotel destination number 3. It is at the Waldorf Astoria Pool Resort. It is a King Deluxe private park view. It has pool gardens, 3rd or 4th floor, sitting area, a marble tub. I'm loving it. I don't think we should change it. Does anybody think that we should change this hotel in Rome? Because I'm wish I could stay at the Waldorf Astoria. And if you want to add features, that's right, Carlene. I'm going with you. Girls trip. All right, so we're going to look and see what else can they do in Rome. So they didn't have as many tours, right, as Montego Bay. So when you're talking to your customer, you can let them know, hey, I do have a couple of tours here. However, that's when you can sell what? Your Viator. You can let them know, I'll send you a link to the popular things that's going on in Rome during your time. And so when you pull up your Viator, you can literally select Rome, select the days that your customers are traveling, take the link of that page, and that's what you can send them, and you can let them pick it themselves. So then that way you're going to get commission and you didn't have to do anything but those few little things. So once you have everything selected for this person's trip, before I talk to my customer, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on booking administration. I'm going to see how much commission I'm getting from this trip. I see that I'm going to make $428.91. If that is fine with you, then you just hit the X and you're good. If you're like, I want to kind of boost that up a little bit. I want to increase it by $40. Let's see. Now I'm going to increase it by $60. $72. All right, I'm going to increase it by $72 because I want to make almost 900. I mean, 500. And so even though I put in 72, it said that I can only go up to $493.71. Oh, I think I'm okay with that. So once you get that increase that you want, go ahead and close that out. It's going to change your price here for you. So it was 16. So now it's 16,640. It was about 16,342. So I added in my extra commission with this trip, right? And now you're going to go to your email print itinerary. And you're going to put your customer's email here. And I'm always put in their last name. So I'm going to just say Jones, multi-trip planned for, I forgot what month we said this was going to be. Darn, I just did March, huh? And I was like, we're going right now. All right. And then you want to make sure you edit this, guys. You want to make sure you edit this before you send it because it talks about Apple Vacations, Archer Travel, and it even has my agent ID in here. So I'm okay with leaving the Apple Vacation Getaway because even if they try to book themselves, they're not going to get the agency price, right? But I am going to change that to my business name. I am going to change my number to my name. I'm going to change Archer Travel again to SLM Bookings. All right, I'm going to put a skip there because I just hate seeing that they put that together and didn't do anything else. If there was something that you wanted to add in here, like, this package includes one excursion while you're in Jamaica, anything that you want to add, this is the place to add it. And then remember to note, guys, if you're taking notes, to note, to go all the way down to the bottom where it says closing and change your agent ID again. Because for some reason, they will not put your name, they will only put your agent ID. All right, so once you have it to where I love this, this looks great. It has their terms and conditions. It has every leg of their flights. It talks about each room and the dates where they're going to be at. It also includes that add-on that I did. It lets them know that, hey, you're going to have some protocols now. You're traveling outside of the country. So here are your protocols to remember. Here is your total price. All right, for this trip. And so then we're just going to go and preview is over and boom, look at that. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to print it first. You don't actually have to physically print it. I always save it to PDF and I have a customer file for each one of my customers. Anytime I send them an itinerary, I put that itinerary also in my file. So if they call me and say, well, I like the first one that you sent me, I can always go back and pull that up without having to come to the site to pull it up, right? So I'm going to hit print, but I'm not going to do that now, and save it into that customer's specific file. Then I'm going to email it to that customer, okay? And that way I know I have it. So if I'm not booking with them at this exact moment, once I have all of that set, the next thing I need to do is save my itinerary, which should be here. And even when I save an itinerary, I'm going to save it under that person's name, multiple trip. And then I'm going to try to get, because I've already, let me see if I can get back to it. 16,640. I always put the price in there because I'm going to show you a neat trick. Save your itinerary. So now let's say if you want a price comparison, I never send one person one itinerary. If you're doing that, you're doing yourself a disservice. Okay. Send them multiple ones. They may never like what you send. So before I used to go back and have to create all of this information. And then I saw this thing down here that says duplicate. And I was like, oh, what does that do? So one day I clicked it and it pretty much filled out everything that I just did. And the only thing I'm going to do different is I'm going to change the supplier. So I'm going to change it from Apple, and let's see what United Vacations has. The itineraries are usually in there for about 14 days. I've had one in there that was a little bit longer. Now, what just happened, what I don't like is it erased all my information because they started with Hawaii. Boo. All right, so if we're going to do US, Mexico, Caribbean, can, flight, and hotel. See, they have these separated. All right, so let's go with that one. So we're going to create a different trip for this customer. They are still departing from, where did I say? New York, JFK. All right, JFK. And our first leg, they're going to go to, we did Charleston. Because for some reason, we were like, you guys are going to freaking, you're going to see the US, darn it. Then we went to Jamaica. We went to the Jamaicas. And adding our additional destination. Let's cross our fingers that we can get Rome again. Since this is not looking like I'm going to get Rome with those as my options, right? Nope, no Rome. All right, so instead of Rome this time, our customer is going to go from Jamaica to, what's another island that they can go to? I'm trying to do Bora Bora, and I just was like, don't know how to spell Bora. Nope, Bora Bora is not in here either. Oh, Bermuda is though. Okay. They're going on island hopping a little bit. Like I said, they're going to go to Charleston, they're going to pick up a friend, and then they're going to keep going, right? And then they're going to come back to New York. So let's see what that's going to look like now. And it's thinking about life. It's considering its options. Oh, it's saying this is the kind of message that I'm talking about. We apologize, but air is not available within our system for dates selected. So when you get this kind of message, I used to just think, oh, I got to change these dates, and I would change the dates and change the dates, and I would get nothing. And it's literally because most likely they don't have a flight from Jamaica to Bermuda. That is most likely what my problem is. So then in this situation, you will call Vax. You would make sure that you get on the line with the people for United Vacations, because they have it broken down into vendors in their callback list. And you would explain to that person, hey, my customer wants to go from New York to Charleston, from Charleston to Jamaica, from Jamaica to Bermuda, and from Bermuda back to New York. They will be able to create that for you. If there's specific hotels that the customer's already interested in, like let's say the first 2 hotels, they really loved them, they wanted to keep those 2, they can make sure to select the correct hotels. You set the parameters and then they just put it into your saved itineraries, and then you would just come in and click on retrieved itineraries, and you would be able to, you see my guys, you see my trip, that's my trip. You would be able to come in and select back into it, click on go, and it will pull that itinerary up, and you'll be able to close that customer. So this is pretty much how you would do this in Vax Vacations. Would anybody else like to see another demonstration for Vax before we move on to the next vendor? The nose going once, the nose going twice. I'm closing it. All right. So let's get our next vendor out here. Pleasant Holidays. I kind of had already started it because I wanted to make sure I remembered how to do it. So let's go back. All right. Excellent. So when you are dealing with Pleasant Holidays, they have some amazing packages sometimes, and sometimes I find that they can be a little pricey. All right. However, I have found some good deals for some of my customers. So that has definitely been awesome for me. So build your trip is where you're going to start at once you log in. Click on advance, and then you'll see your multiple destination button here. All right. So then when you click on multiple destinations, it changes it slightly to, do you need a flight for your first destination? Yes. Where do you want to go? So you see that now it kind of changed it up a little bit to be able to service that customer for you. So we're going to keep it on flight and hotels, but I do want you guys to note that they do have hotel and condo only packages as well. And those condos can also be like rental property houses for people who are looking for that type of style, who might want to rent a whole house because they maybe have a lot of people that's going to be there. So do you need a flight for your first destination? We're going to say yes. We're going to leave out of JFK again. Not that well, yeah, there we go. Not that I live in New York, that I keep selecting that. I just think that because it's an international airport, sometimes it's easier to deal with. This one, I'm going to make sure we push this one out some. I don't know why I didn't do that. So where do we want to go? All right. So we were trying to go to Rome before. Let's see if they have Rome. They do. All right. So our first stop is going to be Rome. It says I need a hotel. Absolutely, I do. When am I checking out? So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 days, right? I'm not going to select these, but if they don't offer transportation to and from the airport, then we'll come back and deal with that. All right. And then from here, notice how, because I'm checking out here, it automatically has me departing from that airport to my next destination. All right. So from Rome, where do we want to go? I want to go to Amsterdam. Anybody want to go to Amsterdam with me? All right. And so in Amsterdam, we're going to stay there until Sunday. All right. And do I need a return flight? Of course I do. I'm returning to JFK. I mean, like, where do you think I'm going? I don't live anywhere else. Obviously I do, but all right. So notice now it's built everything for me. If I want to add another destination, but we're just going to do these two for this particular one, Rome and Amsterdam. Going back to New York, we need one room. We're going to do it for 2 people. If you have children, blown. Direct nonstop flights. I'll select it. Maybe we'll see. Let's see if we get any. We'll be lucky, right? Hit search, wait for it to think about life, its meaning, and it did not like it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that direct flights out and see if they can get something now. And I haven't had to call Pleasant Holidays yet, but I heard that their customer service is really nice. And you can always email our BDM. You can find information about our BDMs back in the Archer website where you sign up for suppliers. If you go back to the USA suppliers, go to that tab. Information for contacting is going to be found there. Sometimes instead of calling the 800 number, you can always call your BDM to see if there's something else that you can do for a customer. All right. So the cool thing about this trip is I thought it was going to be much more expensive than that. Right. And look at this, $5,017 for 2 people for 2 destinations. This is an amazing plan. Your customer will be a fool to not take this from you. All right. So we have New York to Ireland, and this is why, and Ireland to Rome. Now, the cool thing is, let's see how much their layover is. The flight arrives on Monday. Oh, because of the time change. Okay. Duration is 16 hours, but it's not really, am I seeing something that I'm 8:45 and then it leaves at 3. So I would suggest to this customer to maybe go out and see Ireland really quickly while they're there, take a tour that would get them back, check their bags before they leave so that they know, or put them in a locker so that they know they're secure, and kind of get out there and see Rome. That is Ireland, because Dublin is beautiful as well. You can also do a different flight, but I'm thinking that this is probably the best option, so I'm not going to mess with that. And then they have from Rome to Amsterdam nonstop, so they know they're good on that. And then from Amsterdam, you're going to be stopping in Ireland again. But this one is a quick stop, right? Because they're getting there at almost 2 and they're leaving at 4:45. So if they're going to do any exploring, it's going to be on this day, not when they're returning. They might miss that flight. They don't want to play around. So it's showing us options for our vacation. So we have a twin deluxe. I'm going to go with the deluxe king. All right. And now we have the Amsterdam leg. And this is at the Winston Elixir Rome. Yeah. Okay. And the next one is at the Doubletree by Hilton. I kind of trust Doubletrees. They're nice. They're not the best of the best of the best. But I trust them enough that I'm hoping that you're going to be concentrating more on what you're doing at Amsterdam and not the hotel. But I will at least make sure they have a deluxe king or queen, not that twin. All right. Most of us are dealing with Americans. We've got some guts to us, so we need a little bit of room in there. And that only changed that to $5,180. So that's going to be $2,590 per person. You can also look at your travel agency details if you wanted to add a fee to this customer to kind of boost up your commission. I would definitely do that. It's going to update the customer's price. So net fees minus their administration charge. So I put in that I want $125. They're like, well, what you're going to get is $116.25 because we're taking some of your money. And I'm like, all right. So then if we're going to continue booking this package, we can go ahead and click on that. Now, they also say, hey, does this person want trip insurance? Again, some of these plans I stopped offering because I'm using a different service now that has much better services. It handles the cancellation, medical, emergency, air vac, everything. So I started using that instead of these plans. So I'm going to say no, personally. Now, once you get to this point, you can either save this itinerary or you can continue to book it. It is showing, hey, do this person want to do some the same thing? Do they want these tours? Do they want these extra add-ons? This is the place to look for your extra add-ons, and it's showing you for which leg of the trip that these add-ons are specifically for. So from here, you can either continue booking this package if your customer is in it to win it. They're on the phone with you while you were doing this. They're ready to go. But most likely we have gotten that quote from our customers. I meant that form from our customers, and we need to create a quote. So when you go to create the quote, it's going to give the same basic information that you just created. You have to agree to it. All right. You do not have to put in any of the traveler's information to start off with. And you can look at the basics of that itinerary, or you can look at it as the package details. Once you agree, I need to get some hold music. It's going to say, hey, your quote number is this. You can view it. You can send it to myself. I can send it to myself, or I can send it to my clients. When you send it to yourself, it is going to show you the breakdown with your commission in it. Okay. That is not the one you want to send to your client. So if you're thinking, I'm going to send it to myself and then I'm going to send it to my client, don't do that. So if you're going to send it to yourself for your records, that's one thing. Don't send that copy to your customer. Definitely send itinerary to client from this button. You're going to just put in their email and you're going to send that itinerary. All right. Now, if you want to send it to yourself, it gives you kind of a preview of how the customer is going to see it. I didn't send it to myself twice on how that customer is going to receive it. But like I said, at the bottom, it's going to show your commission. And if you don't want your customer to see that commission, then you do not want to send them the copy you receive. All right. So who has questions on how to do a multiple booking using Pleasant Holidays? Anyone? Questions? No, I'm telling you, this is the quietest. I usually have people shouting at me, telling me they need all of these things. And you guys are just so nonplussed. This is the most complicated one. I have to start it over because I actually had to come in and make sure that I remembered how to use Avanti. I love Avanti because they let you plan it T to T, every detail. And they put in a lot and you can delete it if you need to, whatever. So you can either do it by a quote. You can do it by, if you go to book, it has a quote mode, which estimated time is 5 minutes, guided mode, which estimated time is 15 minutes, expert mode, which is estimated time is 20 minutes. And this is for somebody who they know every airport code, they know everything. So we're going to go in guided mode. And it's not going to take us that long, I promise you. We're going to select the name, the number of cities we want to go to. Then we're going to select the region that we want to travel to. I'm going to stick with Europe. I love Asia. That's where I'm going to personally. But we're going to stick with them. Departing date. So we're going to pick the date that we want to depart. In a perfect world, our customer is planning a couple of months out so that we don't have to worry about not getting flights and hotels and stuff. I'm only selecting JFK, so I have limited issues with finding flights because sometimes you may have to ask your customer, hey, can you go to the next city? Right? So now that I have selected Europe, it's only going to show me what's in that region for me to be able to select from. Okay, so let's go to London. And from London, I'm kind of feeling Denmark. Anybody has any suggestions for a second leg? Finland. All right, this is the hardest part, picking your pretend vacation. Let's go to Normandy. All right, and so number of nights is what's going to change these dates automatically for you. So I'm going to stay there for 3 days and I'm going to stay here for 4 days. And so it automatically let me know, hey, your return date is going to be August 14th. All right. So then when you hit continue, it's going to ask you now, how many people, well, how many people is Nam going? All right. So we're going to have 2 people go. And then we're going to hit submit. If they have a specific carrier or time, obviously this is where you're going to make that change from. The only thing I find is some people would rather travel either overnight or early in the morning. So those are usually, you know, kind of like your go-to timeframes for your customers or kind of that ask, right? And so now it's showing me, hey, all right, so for $2,377.10, that is just the flights. All right. That's why I said this site is no joke. When I book here, these people are paying money. So now it's saying, all right, so now that we got the air, let's continue and add services. Excuse me. So we're going to add hotel for London. 3 nights, any bedding, 2 adults, submit. And it's going to show us the different types of hotels that they recommend in that area. Eventually, you know, all of these sites have a lot to think about. Y'all like my little mermaid hair? I just got my hair today. My little mermaid hair. Figured I'd say something while we was waiting. How do y'all do a price match if they find the exact travel plans for less? I have not, when it comes to these kind of, thank you, Carlene. Renee, when it comes to these kind of bookings, I have not had a customer that's like, oh, I found this for less. when you're doing a multiple booking, they may, if they do find it for less, it's because they found the cheapest of hotels to go to. That's not going to include anything. So if you notice, the first plans that I was doing, 2 of those places were all-inclusive places. And so you're going to have a hard time beating me on an all-inclusive. Now, if you have a timeshare or something like that, then, that's something else. So now let's just talk about your airfare and your excursions, because you already have your accommodations taken care of. If they happen to find something that might be less than what I can get, you can always call directly. We have Archer's IATA number. If you become your own IATN card holder, you can always call the hotels directly and be like, hey, I need to price match this. I'm a travel agent. My client is thinking about booking to your hotel, but they're considering another hotel, right? You got to tell them it's competition out there. It's competition. You're not the only one, but this is the price that they're getting. And I need to either be able to match it or lower this. And a lot of the times they'll be able to work with you directly, and they'll be able to give you the itinerary number so that you can attach it to your profile. You can get it added into your profile so that you can get credit for the booking. So there's that too. All right, so now they're showing us rooms that we can get while we're in London. And I like the fact that all of them are almost like 4-star, right? This is the only one that's kind of given us options with the actual room. So they can go with the Queensgate Hotel Standard, the King Deluxe King Twin Room. That sounds kind of weird to me. Right? How is it a king and twin? Oh, you know what? It's 2 beds that they put together so that you can separate them in case you wanted to have just two beds. And then they have the club room. My person is splurging. So we're going to add that to our itinerary. And now if we want to add tours, cars, we already have flights. If we wanted to add rail, this is where we can do all of that. So if they wanted to maybe take the rail from London and kind of do a little loop travel or something like that before going on their trip to Normandy, you can add all of these elements right here. The transfer would be from the airport to the hotel, but in London, you want to make the suggestion to them that if their hotel does not include that service, which most likely it didn't show me that, so most likely it does not, you want to tell them take a cab. The transfer companies in London that I noticed are very expensive. So to me, it's not worth it. But you can see what they have available in tours. And we're going to submit and see what they have available for tours while your customer is there. Why wait to get there to book, right? When I can book it for you, or use Viator. That's what it's there for. So we do have for $114, this is most likely per person. They have a London Oyster card transportation pass. Oh, this is just if they want to ride the train. So if they wanted to buy train tickets from you earlier, they could. Okay. And then they have a shared Jack the Ripper walking tour. All right. They have a night panoramic tour. Those are beautiful. The morning Tower of London. So as you can see, they did pop up with quite a few different exciting tours that your customer can add on. Traditional afternoon tea with a glass of champagne. That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. We're going to add that. We're going to have afternoon tea, but with a glass of champagne, because, that's how we do. Now, let's go ahead to Normandy and let's get our hotel there. If you don't have Avanti destinations, I believe they are in the Archer portal. I came to their website directly, avantidestinations.com, and I knew to use the Archer IATA number when I signed up. All right, so let's see what we have here. All right, I'm going to select this hotel. I'm going based off of the price. It's a standard room, probably not much to it. It looks like it's in a beautiful downtown type area. So then that way that person has ways that they can kind of do their own tours and things like that. So I love it. And notice it added that in there for me. So we're good to go. We already know we have our flights taken care of. So now we're going to hit continue. And now it's going to ask us for our customer's information. So if we want to save the quote, we can do that. If you want to email for special requests for them, you can do that. It's showing us our commission for this total trip because you got paid for the flights, you got paid for the hotel, everything is $466. So this is where if you wanted to add those agency fees, this is where you're going to add in your agency fees at that point, based off of, what your customers total, what they're willing to spend. So if you have some leg room to add a little bit more commission, by all means, please do that. And it says include travel protection recommended. So I'm willing to take the chance. I want travel protection for my customers. I want travel protection with the CFAR, and I don't know what that is. So, oh, comprehensive coverage. So again, I deal with a different company now. So I would say no, because I'm going to send my customer a different link to buy their insurance at the prices that they want to buy it at. So we're good. Now, one of the tours did pop up with something that we need to pay attention to. Hey, please select one of our tour times. So you have to decide if they're going to go at 2, 3, or 4 o'clock for that afternoon tea with a glass of champagne. And I'm going to say 3. But at this point, if you are talking to your customer and they're ready to go, you're just going to enter in the information here and kind of keep it moving. If you are creating a itinerary, this is where you would say, I don't have one. You're going to name your itinerary, London. You're going to spell it correctly. And update that. I believe we're going to save the quote. Oh, I thought I did. I thought I said, heck no, we won't go. Save. Okay. And it's done. So now when you go into your quotes, you will see this updated there. You can actually use everything that I've done today can also be used as a mock booking, right? When you don't have a client, but you've built this amazing trip, you can actually put this in as a multiple destination with tours included type flyer and market this. And as you're booking it, you just keep copying it so that you have that same plan set up for the next person who might want it. And then all you have to do is update it for anything that might happen with the flights, or if they're leaving obviously out of a different city, you would update that information. And that's pretty much how you would do that. Now, I know that Avanti is a little bit more into it and what you do, but as you can see, you have a little bit more kind of creative control, and they have the best ways to kind of look at how they build vacations as well, to give you some ideas on how to build an amazing vacation for some of these destinations. So like here, flavors of Hong Kong, wine, dine yourself, all of this stuff, right? So the accommodations, 4 nights in Hong Kong, it's going to include all of this. So if you click on view the details, you can see the kind of trip that they have built for clients. And you can either contact them and ask them to build this same thing, or you can just keep this to the side and build it yourself by keep looking back and forth at what they had. And so, they definitely have an interesting way of doing their site. So I do like it. And so when you go home, you will see in my proposals that I have some proposals already here. Right? Jones, multiple stop 1. So you definitely can have those. And it's so funny because I actually booked this one, but I ended up booking it in the next tool I'm going to show you guys. Now, the next 2 sites I'm going to show you are very easy. And that's why I waited to the end to show them to you guys. If you have not discovered Exotica, go and log into Exotica. All right. They do everything for you. It's nothing to be done. If I want my customer to go to Japan for 13 days, starting at $17.99, I'm going to just click on what they already have planned. So this person is going to be able to go to 3 different countries in Asia. The flights, accommodations, some of the transfers and activities are included. All right. When you come down, you'll see what they're doing. On day 2, they're going to be in Tokyo. And then if you just click the down button, it'll open up the rest of them. And it shows you all the tours that's included during their 13-day trip. All right. So they have a morning tour included here. They have Mount Fuji optional. They have Tokyo again. Now we're going to be on the bullet train, optional, to get to the next location. Or you can take the regular transportation that they have. I would take that bullet train, right? And then they have another full day tour included here, another optional tour included here. And every city that you switch to, your accommodation switch. They switch you to a different hotel during this trip. To see it all at a glance, you can come down here. And you'll be able to see on day 2, this is where you're staying. And then you go to day 3 and 4, and now we're at a different hotel. Oh, no, that's the same hotel. I'm so sorry. See how I lied? I just lie so easily to you guys too. Day 6 and 7, we're at a different hotel. Here we are. And so now you're seeing all the categories of what this person is going to get. And then on day 9 and 10, different hotel again, because these are tourcations that they have already planned. Then you get to see everything that is included versus what is optional. Is there a tab in Exotica to choose multiple destinations? These are multiple destinations already. Oh, Yolanda, I am on Exotica. Exotica, EXOTICCA.com. And there is a button at the top that says to log in, go to Travel Advisors portal. This is where you would log in and you would just use the IATA number to sign up. Yes, this will be in a recording. So, yeah, so these are, when I say that these are already multiple trip places. So let's look at Egypt. Egypt in 9 days. And in those 9 days, your customer is going to all of these locations right here. All of those locations is where they're going. These trips are already built and planned. See how they have a picture of a woman here? She is the one who crafted this specific vacation. So all the tours, the flights, everything, she has gone to these hotels, picked the best one to stay at. She has eaten at some of these restaurants, pick the best ones to include it in their tours. So that is why we love, love, love Exotica. And I did book my customer. This is the site I booked my customer that is going to, where are they going to? Oh my goodness, I really can't think of where they're going now. That is so sad. It is in Europe. They are going to Ireland. They're going to Ireland. That's where they're going. Ireland. And they actually have a distillery planned in their tour. So that's why I love them, because like I said, the flights, accommodations, transfers, activities, and some meals. And it'll let you know what meals. And if you want to expand on your vacation, you can. So see, during one of their legs, they're going to be on a cruise, and see how it says it's included, right? Well, you can add, you can either change it to a luxury cruise while you're there, or you can add in additional days on that cruise and extend your trip. However you want to do it, that's how they get that done. And like I said, you can either look at the pictures and the descriptions, or you can scroll all the way to the bottom, and it's going to show you at the bottom what's included. So Superior 4 nights cruise is included. The other Superior 3-night cruise also included. But if you want to change it to one of the other options, it shows how much extra that's going to be. When you're staying on land, it is good for mock booking. Absolutely, I can show you how. So when you're staying on land, you can also see all of the different places that they're going to be on, right? Even that now Treasure Cruise is in here to show you some pictures of what that is going to look at. How luxurious this is. This is better than some of the other cruises we go on, right? And it shows the activities, and you can even see the pictures in the activities. So what you can do is, let's say you have a client, or you want to get a client, interested in this. What I did was I took some of the photos, I took the quick descriptions here, and I made a flyer out of it. However, you can also select what city the person is going to leave from, or do land only if their city is not here, because you can still arrange other flights outside of this program, right? But if they can get to one of these cities, if they're leaving from Boston, it's going to be $2,199. So that's why it said from $1,999, because it depends on where they're leaving from. So then when we click on see prices, it's going to ask me to choose my departure date. I'm going to choose this. You see the little plane going? Okay, there we go. All right. So it automatically selected the cheapest price, which was $2,499, or it can be the fastest price, which would get them there in 12 hours and 52 minutes. My client is like, that's okay, because I want to spend my money on the trip, not, I don't want to spend any more money than I have to. If it's 2 people going, then they can have the 1 double bed, but if they need 2 beds, you just need to make it. But if it's 2 individuals, you see it's a price increase. So you better tell them, listen, y'all got to be lovers during this trip. I don't know what to tell you. I'm joking. It shows you how much the other parts of those tours are that were optional. So if they want to add them, now is the time to add them, right? So if you wanted to, let's say, make this something that you can use, you can download as a PDF this trip. And in like 10 hours, you'll have it. All right. So I'm just going to save it wherever it is. And let's pull it up. And look at how beautiful this is, what they send. Okay. Because they send the pictures and everything. Now, your customer can try to undercut you and come to Exotica themselves, thinking, well, I don't need no travel agent. They done gave me the site. Well, when they come here and they try to book for themselves, they pay a different price. All right. So that's why sometimes I'm not afraid to show them where my resources is coming from. However, Precious just did she did a good walkthrough on Exotica. You guys should watch her video. And she downloaded this, and then she used the snipping tool, and she cut what she wanted to, and she put it in Canva, and she made her own PDF of this same information. But instead of having Exotica's logo on the top, she had her own logo on the top. So I think I'm going to start doing that. I thought that was an excellent thing. And then you don't have to give all of this information if you don't want to. That way you can just kind of show the basics of this plan. This information right here, a few of the beautiful photos. I would maybe only include the included trips and not the optional ones. And then just talk to my customer about the optional ones. Maybe show some of the accommodations and then show what the total price is going to be. They don't even have to see the flights yet, because they may end up changing some information about that, right? So the commission is 16% with Exotica, and sometimes you might get a bonus. So I did, because I booked during the holiday season, I got a $500 bonus on my commission with Exotica. So they are definitely a great company to book with. I really did like it. So yeah, I definitely recommend this one. And before we go, there is one last one. I know you guys are like, don't hold me up anymore, lady. Trust me, you're going to love this one. So talking about tourcations, talking about getting around in a unique and awesome way, trains. I have found this site that does train vacations, and they have suites. They have multiple destinations that they stop at. I think it's amazing. One of my favorites so far is the Orient Express. So that's the one we're going to look at. We're going to look at London, Venice, and Lake Como. Let's look at those deals. And I mean, just look at this freaking train, right? Unlike anything you've ever seen. And for every leg you're stopping at, you're getting off the train, you're going to a hotel and you're spending a day or two at that location before you reboard to go to the next area. All right, so this to me has been a great gem, a great find. It's another site where it is already built. So it's nothing for you to actually plan for that customer. You're just offering the already built plans to that customer. It gives you highlights, 1 night on board the Express, rail travel per as per the itinerary, 3 nights hotels in Venice, 3 nights in Como with breakfast, Dodge's Palace and Golden Balsamic tour in Venice, walking tours in Venice and Como. So it's letting you know this is all included for that customer, right? It shows you the 2 different trains that they'll be taking during their trip. And like I said, and you have the photos. When you open it up, you can see the photos of the accommodations, and they actually get to pick which one. So they're not just stuck with whatever hotel they're sticking them in. They have an array of hotels that that customer can pick from, and it's all included. So it's not like, you know, because you pick this one over that one, it's going to cost you more. So this is called Rail Bookers, railbookers.com. You're going to do the same thing when you register. You're going to use Archer's IATA number with your information as well to register. And then you will be able to book these kind of vacations as well. So I definitely loved it. I love being the access to it. I have sent out a couple of itineraries. I haven't actually booked with them yet, but me and my husband are looking at it like we might have to go on one of these trips. And what I like is I was trying to find the easiest way to kind of break this site down to figure it out. The best thing to do is look at the destinations. I looked at the trains only because I want to go on that specific train. But the best thing to do is look at the actual destinations where that customer says they want to, what country or what country sides they want to travel to. And then you can pick, you know, whatever is available. So if we say Spain, it's going to let me know, hey, there are 49 plans that we have. Yes, I'm a travel advisor. Oh my goodness. I do all of this. Well, I haven't done that. Why now are we having this? I should have said Belgium. Okay, look, guy, let me do what I'm doing. So now you can see that some of these are at a lot reasonable pricing. And so you have your 11 days for $1,899. So if this person is starting in Spain and going through Portugal, right? Barcelona is on this stop. Love it. Madrid, love it. But you also are going to get what? The airfare, because you have to get your customer to the beginning of this trip. Another thing that I do like about how they do the trips, let's say your customer is like, well, I want to end it in Barcelona. I don't want to start in Barcelona. You can click on request reverse, and it will reverse that package for the customer. And so instead of them leaving from Barcelona, they can end their trip in Barcelona. So, and some of them do it instantly. Some of them, as you can see, told me I had to request it. Look at this, flash sale now extended up to $500, save now, travel later. So you can definitely utilize this in mock bookings as well. Like I said, by just utilizing the pictures, because these are trips that's already built that they have going on. Most of them are already set. Like they told me when I spoke to them that you can book now and travel within 2 years. So these are trips that they have kind of set in stone, because where else is the train going? The train ain't going nowhere else. So I definitely love it. But I hope you guys learned a little something about the multiple destinations and some of the unique ways that some of us travel agents do book for them. This is going to be recorded. And so you can definitely check out my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is youtube.com/the @SLM bookings, all one word, SLM bookings. All right. So, and if you're in any of the chat rooms that I'm in, once it is uploaded, I will share it on there as well. Before we go tonight, guys, does anybody have any questions about, because I know that I went through Exotica and Rail Bookers really quickly. The second site that I did tonight. Ooh, you hit me with a good question because you know I closed the windows when I was done with them. So we went to Vax Vacations. We went to I know the name of it, but it's just not coming off of my tongue. It's somebody Pleasant Holidays, Sydney for the win. Pleasant Holidays. After Pleasant Holidays, we visited Jesus and Avanti. Sydney, you are on point. Avanti, Carolyn, you are on point. Obviously, I need to take some, what is that name of that pill? That's how bad it is, guys. I don't remember anything. But I think the most exciting sites are the ones that already have the trip built. Because then as an agent, you're just coming in here reporting the news, right? Oh, you wanted to go to Dublin, London, and Paris? Do I have the vacation for you, right? And then the only thing you have to add is airfare. And this site actually even helps you with airfare. But Exotica is definitely my favorite. Exotica and Rail Bookers. This is probably what I would recommend for people who are looking for an exciting honeymoon. They don't want to just go to an island. They want to have an experience. For people who want to have a great anniversary trip, if you're looking for that couple who is adventurous and want to be able to do different things and see different sites, then start thinking about Exotica, start thinking about Rail Bookers. And even Amtrak has a site for vacations where they take you just like this on multiple destinations, and hotels are built into that as well. So maybe we'll do that one the next time. But these are just great resources for you to be able to use. Vax Vacations is great, but if you can't get those connections, then you're talking to them and, you know, it can kind of get a little messy, right? We looked up on that great deal at Pleasant Holidays because not everything is going to be under $5,000 when you're doing multiple vacations. So I think these are great places to start and things that you should start talking to on your feed. Start talking about these places, start showing these amazing trips. And all you have to do, guys, is just cut this right here, right? Let's cut it. Let's cancel that for a second because that did that so quick. So for this, I'm going to put this on a 2-second delay and I'm going to cancel it. Now I'm going to say no. Because you see how it tried to change on me. So, I did that too quick. And boom, there we go. And so I'm just going to clip it. And this is exactly what I'm going to post. I might put this in Canva and add a couple of little things to it on top of it. My logo is going to go right here. My logo is going to go right there. My contact information is going to go right here. Okay. And then what I might do is highlight or underline from so that they know that this is the starting point, right, of that vacation. If they add on anything, if we add flights or things like that, that's going to change that price so that their expectation is, oh, well, you said it was $15.99 in your ad. Yeah, from $15.99. So, you know, those are things I might do if I pop this in Canva before I put it up on my social media, but it's that simple. All right. So start utilizing these resources. They're here for you. They do have resources on this site as well. Apparently, I'm just not fully logged in because they're like, you know, you suck. Well, it's because I timed out. And so you can even get discounts as a travel agent yourself. You can use their instant quote that they have available. And let me see, because I know that customizable flyers so that you can put your own information in there. They have brochures you can learn on this site. They have social media assets for you to be able to just kind of use right there. And then what are you going to do? You're going to bleed your own logo on top of it, maybe your contact information right there. And you already have your whole post set up for you, right? So they do have some resources for us here, guys. So let's start using them. Let's start booking with them. I think this is exciting. The YouTube address is now in the chat, youtube.com/@SLM bookings. I don't know why I put .com. It is not .com. Oh my God. It's just at SLM bookings. My website is slmbookings.com. I got confused. So yeah, so I definitely, I've loved it. I haven't been promoting them enough because I've been doing a lot with destination weddings and honeymoons using sandals. But like I said, I'm going to start promoting this as well for great honeymoon trips, great anniversary trips. Hey, let's go have that adventure together. So you're definitely welcome, guys. All right. So if there's no other questions, Sydney, right? Rel, who knew? The last time I showed Rel Booker, somebody was like, I didn't even think about train travel. And I think it's amazing. And they did have a couple of little, you know, in North America, I believe it's Canada is the only thing, Canadian Rockies, right? They don't really have a lot for us to do here, but that's even more exciting because it's making us get out and take that adventure. Get out and discover new places. But I mean, they got Toronto and Vancouver, 1649, 8 days. You do not put anything for the W9 because you're going to put in the IATA number for Archer. The IATA number is Archer's IATA number, so you do not need to fill out the W9 information. You would only fill out the W9 information if they were paying you directly, but you're getting paid through the host agency because that is who holds our license, insurance, and bonding. So you do not want to try to set yourself up with these clients directly, because if then somebody gets upset and tries to sue you for the cost of their trip, right? They had an accident and now they want to sue you for the cost of the trip because they didn't get to go on the trip and they didn't get their money back. No, honey, they're going to sue Archer. They're not going to sue you. So definitely make sure you're using that host agent information. All right, my lovelies. You can always connect with me on Facebook if you have any other questions. You can always go back and watch this video. I do have an ending that I like to show, so I'm going to show that ending now if no one has any other questions.
Hold up. Beat it up like.
Hands on your knees.